Okay, 2 o'clock in the morning, June 23rd. And this is for all of the, this is for the spiritual community. I've seen videos saying the shamans, the witches, the psychics, the root workers, they know something's coming, but nobody knows what. I've seen other videos saying this is the fulfilling of the Bible prophecies. So, let me explain. What's coming is death. What's coming is transition. What's coming is change. What's here is war. Warnings have gone out for years. I know I have been given warnings for over a decade. The people who don't know what's coming, the reason they feel something and don't know what it is because they are out of alignment with their practice. They spend too much time being absorbed in other things, competitions on social media, trying to do this latest trend in order to stay at a certain level instead of focusing on their craft and their gift and their hearing, their understanding, their connection. The connections have been watered down because of all the other things that are polluting the gift. Even the church aspect of where there was a time when situations like this would occur and you would see the pastors of the church warning people, telling them to prepare, getting them ready. But see, I'm a mouthpiece from God. Some people claim to be a mouthpiece for God, but they are a mouthpiece for themselves. So they don't share the information because, one, they're not aware of the information because they're polluted. And this is not an everyone thing because y'all don't listen to the other pieces. There have been people who have prophesied things before, predicted things before, and you guys ignored those because it was not in line with your desires. Your desires do not mitigate the truth. Your desires do not prevent whatever the prediction is from becoming reality. Most of you are only interested now that you see these things happening. You weren't interested before when you had time to prepare. You weren't interested before when your family member was coming up for being realistic in the military and they could have gotten out, but they decided, I'm going to coast it out for another 4 years or another 3 years or another 2 years, and they won't make it home. Now you want to listen, you want to know what you can do. For some of you, it's too late. Now, there are some who are protected, and that is what the protection is, and the protection will hold for those people in those spaces. There are others of us who are able to protect other people. That is what it is, right? But a lot of you are not in that realm. You have not been doing the work, and you are not open to receive. Your gift is watered down. Your gift is polluted. Your gift is tied to material things and a matrix environment. I'm going to interrupt this just to say to the woman, because you obviously didn't hear me when I placed the message. To the woman who was praying, asking God about her health, your answer is your termination date is age 69. Okay? 69. Do with it what you will. From this time to that time, know that is your termination date, your expiration date. To that, some people say, oh, there's nobody knows the day or the hour or the time. That's not true. Animals know when they are going to die. Humans do not know because we've been polluted with other things. People such as myself who deal in transitions, I know this stuff. I know life, I know death, births and deaths. That is a big window. And of course, sickness and illness because it's associated with birth and death. So I end up knowing those things. Don't ask if you don't want to know. Most of you don't really want to know. You should always be prepared. Okay? But to that particular person, don't squander your time. Now, for those of you who are really interested in what you can do, you need to fortify your home. You need to fortify your home spiritually, because in every war, in every cataclysmic event that kind of destroys society and gets you back to a foundational rebuilding, in order to rebuild, someone has to survive. You just need to hope that it's you, or do the things that it takes to ensure that it's you, right? Because I told you guys when I woke up, Wailing Day is coming. Wailing Day is a day of grief, and a tremendous amount of grief, and it is so heavy. It makes it really hard to get up knowing the massive amount of grief that is about to be displayed across the world. The other thing, some of you are short-sighted. You're only thinking about what's happening in the United States, what's happening in New York or Texas or one place. We are energies connected. And because we are connected, when there's a preponderance of war breaking out in other parts of the world, it cannot help but spread and infect all parts of the world. And we have had a preponderance of war and strife and destruction and destroying and releasing energies, because we've practiced things and opened up these different spiritual things, and a lot of connections have been made, and this warring spirit has been running rampant. It has, at one point it was a balance. It was kind of like, yes, it's here, it's a little control, and I can speak and tell you guys how that is and why that is, and the precipice behind some of the things that have occurred in the music industry and what you listen to. Most of that is warring, not, and I'm speaking musically, because that was a big shift, because energies move with movement, and we move and dance with music, we rhythm, right? So there is trances occurs where you just get lost in the music. You've heard that. And a trance state occurs where there's different spiritual things happening, different energies transitioning in and out of consciousness. I know that's too much for some of y'all. So I want you guys to be aware that this spiritual shift that is taking place is not going to end well. This is not singular, meaning one country. This is mass destruction across the globe. That means, where can you run? You can't really run, because there's going to be things happening in so many different places. You could potentially shelter in a zone of protection. You know, and that's what I've been doing, is forging a hedge of protection. And I made this video because, to those of you who are spiritual and you don't know what's coming, check yourself. Check what you're putting into your life. And I'm speaking of what you're watching, the conversations that you're having, the trends you're associating yourself with, the activities that you're doing. You know, those of you who really are, and I'm not even, and side note, if you've been in this spiritual game for less than 10 years, I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even talking to you. Because most of the ones less than 10 years, it's a clout. Most of y'all are going to be running back to another religion or something else as soon as the next thing comes over. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the other ones that, where when the whole energy shift occurred and the spiritual transition occurred, and you found more people who were accepting of the things that you do and your practices, you started commingling. Whereas before, you're behind the scenes, you know, keeping quiet. You started commingling and having these little spiritual get-togethers, exchanging energies, not knowing that people are feeding off your energy, not knowing that people are jealous of your energy, not knowing that some people don't really want to see your gift edify the world. They only want to see your gift destroy the world. And that is what has been happening through a lot of different ways. We have been contributing to the destruction of the world. The energies that are associated with the people who make these decisions, there's spiritual warfare, spiritual energies occurring. A person that is walking in evil is actually within themselves dealing with the evil reincarnation of lots of spirits. So anyway, this video's gone much longer than I intended for it to go. You cannot find the answer within the Bible, the Quran, the spiritual witches book, hoodoo book, voodoo book. You can't find the answer in the book because the answer is not written in a book, not one that you have access to. The book does not tell you what to do. That's where the mouthpiece comes in. When I gave that story about Noah, it wasn't written on a rock or on a book somewhere that, hey, this flood is coming. The information was given to Noah to prepare the people. Okay, that's it. I'm done. And after this, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the energies for today.